Since the first underground train opened between Farringdon and Paddington in London in 1863, the metro has become one of the most fundamental modes of modern mass transit. Millions of people ride the metro systems of the world's major cities every morning on their way to and from work. However, the following systems may brag about having high ridership numbers, which is not the case for most. Asia is home to 6 of the world's 10 busiest metro systems, including 4 of the world's 10 busiest in China alone, and the world's busiest overall, the Tokyo subway in Japan. This video reveals the 10 busiest metro systems in the world. Top 10 busiest subway metro systems in the world. Number 10. Paris Metro, France. Passengers on the Paris Metro increased by 1.12% from 2012 to 2013, bringing the total number of passengers to 1.541 billion for the year. The Paris Metro, which was opened in 1900 and is run by the state-owned Régie Autonome des Transports Parisiens (RATP), was designed by the renowned French civil engineer Fulgence Bienvenu. The Metropolitan Metro system, which also goes by the name Metro, consists of a total of 205 kilometers of track, servicing 14 lines within the city, most of which are located below ground. Lines 4, 12, and 14 are now being extended, with completion and opening scheduled for 2019. Additional line extensions are also in the works. Number 9. MTR, Hong Kong, China. Passengers on Hong Kong's Mass Transit Railway, MTR, rose 7.96% in 2013 to a record high of 1.6 billion. In August 2014, an average of 4.43 million people rode the Metro weekly. The Hong Kong Metro, operated by the public-private firm MTR Corporation, brought in 39 billion Hong Kong dollars, $5 billion in revenue in 2013, making it one of the most profitable metro systems in the world. In 1967, work began on what would become MTR Hong Kong, and by 1979, the first line had opened for business. 82 stops along the Metro's 9 primary lines total 174.7 kilometers of track. Number 8. Mexico City Metro, Mexico. The 9th busiest system in the world is located in Mexico, marking a break from Asia for this list. In 2013, 1.685 billion passengers rode Metro, commonly known as Sistema de Transporte Colectivo, an increase of 4.72% over 2012. North America's second-largest metro system, after the New York City subway. In 2012, it had a record-breaking 4.4 million daily riders. Mexico City's metropolitan region is served by 226.5 kilometers long metro system managed by Sistema de Transporte Colectivo, STC, which connects 16 boroughs and 41 neighborhood municipalities. Since it first opened to the public in 1969, the metro system has expanded to include 12 lines and 195 stations. Number 7. New York Subway, US. There were 1.708 billion riders on the New York subway in 2013, an increase of 2.83% from 2012. The subway serves all 4 boroughs of New York City: Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, and the Bronx. The New York City Transit Authority owns and operates the subway system, which initially opened in 1904. There are 34 lines with 468 stops. As one of New York City's most populous boroughs, Manhattan is home to many of the subway system's busiest stops. Under Times Square, at the 42nd Street station, 64 million people use the subway each year. Number 6. Guangzhou. The Guangzhou Metro, which operates in the largest city in south-central China, had its annual ridership rise by 11.35% from 2012 to 2013 to 2.05 billion. In May 2014, an all-time high of 7.942 million passengers per day rode the Metro, run by the state-owned Guangzhou Metro Corporation. The 260.5-kilometer metro system was launched in 1997 and featured 9 lines servicing 164 stops. The Guangfo line, which opened between Guangzhou and Foshan in 2010, is a component of the Guangzhou Metro and the first intercity underground metro line in China. Number 5. Moscow Metro, Russia. A quick visit to Komsomolskaya or Belorovskaya station on the Moscow Metro will undoubtedly alter your preconceptions of what a subway station may look like. The Moscow Metro, which opened in 1935, is a sight to behold and is always packed with commuters. The number of people who rode the Moscow Metro in a single year increased by 1.1%, reaching 2.491 billion in 2013. The system, which consists of 12 lines and 195 stations, has a total length of 325.9 kilometers, attracted a record 9.28 million passengers per day in December 2013. The state-owned company Moskovsky Metropolitan opened the Moscow Metro in 1935, making it the first underground railway system in the Soviet Union. The metro not only runs through Moscow, but also to Krasnogorsk and Ryotov, two nearby cities. A quick reminder before we further continue our discussion on this topic. If you've enjoyed the video so far, consider subscribing, as we frequently upload informative and educational videos. Let's continue. Number 4. Shanghai. The number of people using the Shanghai Metro each year increased by 10.18% in 2013 compared to the previous year. April 2014 saw a record high of 9.38 million riders each day. Shanghai Metro Operation Company and Shanghai Modern Rail Transit Company run the metro system's 13 lines and 330 stations respectively. People's Square Station, which serves as a hub for the network's daily commuting traffic of 400,000, is the busiest stop, followed by lines 1 and 2. Only 51,000 people use line 13, making it the least popular. By 2020, the Shanghai Metro, widely regarded as one of the world's fastest-growing rapid transit systems, is expected to feature 22 lines, with a total route length of 877 kilometers. Number 3. Seoul Subway, North Korea. In 2013, 2.619 billion people rode the Seoul Metropolitan Metro, making it the busiest subway system in the world. This was an increase of 6.16% from 2012. Seoul, Incheon, and Gyeonggi provinces, as well as northern Cheongnam province, are all connected by the subway system in South Korea's capital city, Seoul. Several companies run the Seoul Subway, including the Seoul Metropolitan Subway Corporation, the Seoul Metropolitan Rapid Transit Corporation, Korail, the Incheon Transit Corporation, and other private rapid transit companies. Over 7 million people have relied on the Seoul Subway every day since it first opened in 1974. The system has 21 lines, including the Uijeongbu LRT and the recently constructed Yongin Everline. Number 2. Beijing Subway, China. 3.209 billion passengers used the Beijing subway in 2013, a 30% increase from the previous year. Since its inception in 1969, Beijing's subway system has grown to include 17 lines, 232 stations, and 465 kilometers of track. Presently, almost 10 million people use the subway system every day. The Beijing Mass Transit Railway Operation Corporation, which is wholly owned by the Chinese government, is responsible for the operation of 14 lines, while the Beijing MTR Corporation, which is a public-private partnership between Beijing Capital Group Co. and Hong Kong MTR Corporation, is in charge of the operation of the 3 remaining lines. Until 2001, the Beijing subway had only 2 lines. Still, once Beijing was chosen to host the 2008 Summer Olympics, significant investment was undertaken to increase the number of lines. Number 1. Tokyo Subway, Japan. The city has one of the world's busiest metro systems because of its high population density. The Tokyo Metro, one of 2 metro systems in the Japanese capital, the other being the Toei Subway, carried a staggering 2.7 billion people in 2019. The Tokyo Metro employs oshiya, or passenger pushers, who are responsible for squeezing every rider into the train cars and ensuring that no one gets caught in the doors. This is not something you'd see in every metro system. The Tokyo Subway is the busiest metro system in the world, with an annual ridership of 3.334 billion in 2013, an increase of 1.25% over the previous year. The Greater Tokyo area of Japan is served by the 310-kilometer rapid transit network, which consists of 13 lines and 290 stations. Tokyo Metro and Toei Subway both run the subway system. The Shinjuku station in Tokyo is the busiest train station in the world, and it is just one stop along the 9 lines that make up the Tokyo Metro. The Tokyo Metropolitan Bureau of Transportation operates the subway system known as Toei Subway, which comprises 4 lines and 106 stations. The Tokyo Underground Railway Company inaugurated the 2.2-kilometer Ginza line between Asakusa and Ueno in 1927, making it the oldest line in the metro system. Have you visited any of the subway metro systems mentioned above? If so, share your experience with us in the comments. If you learned something new today, make sure to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Madewell Finder so that we can keep making such fantastic videos for you. Thank you for watching.